Egypt will soon become one of the largest nuclear energy players in the world, and is another rung in the strategic ladder that Russia is building with nations across the globe. The Dabaa power plant will be the first nuclear power station built in Africa since 1976, and once finished will provide around 10% of the nation's power capacity, bringing energy security to a geopolitically insecure region. So how exactly will the Dabaa plant impact the country with its population of over 110 million people? Why has it taken 40 years to build since the site was first identified? And how is the strategic partnership between Egypt and Russia making all of this happen? Egypt has long considered using nuclear energy, going as far back as the 1960s, but plans never really worked out. In 1964, the nation proposed building a 150 megawatt nuclear power plant, but Egypt's signing of the Non-Proliferation Treaty and the subsequent loss of many of the country's top nuclear scientists were factors that led to this proposal being abandoned altogether. In 1974, a tender was launched to build a nuclear facility 4 times larger than that previously proposed, in Sidi Karir, northern Egypt. And 2 years later, the NPPA was established as a branch of government to operate and manage this new industry. But in 1983, the Dabaa site, strategically placed on the Mediterranean coast and in close proximity to the city of Alexandria, was chosen to host what would be the country's largest energy project ever. With plans for the construction of 8 1,000 megawatt reactors in cooperation with Germany's KWU, France's Framatome and Westinghouse. With an anticipated supply of uranium from Niger and Australia, the project was the most advanced that their nuclear build-out plan had ever been. But these agreements never evolved into anything more than paper promises. Then came Chernobyl. A flawed reactor design that caused the worst nuclear disaster in history and put an indefinite pause on nuclear projects around the world. So, while subsequent nuclear proposals in Egypt were put forward to abate the high energy needs of the nation, it wasn't until the Russian proposal where things became a little more serious. Egypt currently has 60 gigawatts of installed capacity produced by natural gas burning facilities, oil and hydropower. But with electricity consumption per capita having grown by 67% over the past 20 years, and the rise of energy intensive processes like Egypt's 47 water desalination stations, this energy mix is in need of growth and diversification. That's why in 2015, the Egyptian government signed 2 contracts with Russian state-owned energy company Rosatom for the construction and financing of the Dabaa nuclear power plant. Made up of 4 Russian-made VVER 1200 reactors, the plant is expected to have a 4.8 gigawatt capacity, representing nearly 10% of the country's total electricity capacity. With a total cost of $30 billion, of which 85% is funded by Russia through a 22-year loan at a 3% interest rate, Egypt will have a plant with a designed lifetime of 60 years. Rosatom will supply nuclear fuel for the facility, operate and maintain the plant, as well as building secure storage for spent fuel from the reactors. With first construction having begun in July of 2022, the plant is expected to be operating at full capacity by 2030, and with it, the creation of 50,000 jobs and a large anticipated boost to the country's economy. So whilst Egypt is seemingly late to the nuclear party, Rosatom is showing to the rest of the world just how obtainable nuclear energy can be in the 21st century.